Who wants more leads? Pretty much everybody. I'm Chris Cooper. This is Run a Profitable Gym. And today I'm going to show you how to get 30 more leads in the next 30 days easily without running paid ads. To do that, I'm going to walk you through a brand new guide that we're giving away for free in our group for gym owners called gymownersunited.com. If you type that into your browser URL, that will take you to our free Gym Owners United Facebook group. And in that group, we're just handing out this guide for free. It's called the Get More Leads Guide. And I'm going to walk you through it right now. Now, in this guide, I've got 10 different tactics, and you've got a choice. You can use each one if you want to and get a few leads. But it's also possible to just pick the one that you like the best and hammer that and get better and better and better and repeat it until you get 30 leads in the next 30 days. Two ways to do it, right? One is be okay at each one of these. The other is to be very good at just one, and either one is going to work for you. So we're going to walk through each of these step by step. And again, if you want this guide, don't worry about screenshotting this or trying to zoom in on what I'm talking about. Just go to gymownersunited.com, ask for the guide, and I'll give it to you. So the first thing is what we call sell by chat. Conversations lead to conversions. And so the first thing that we want to do is get people off of your social media feed and into an actual conversation with you. This was part of our golden hour challenge back in January when we talked about like every Wednesday, you're going to DM 5 people who follow you on Facebook or Instagram, and you're going to start a conversation. But in this guide, what I've done here is tell you exactly what to say to those people. Okay, here's exactly what you say. Just message 5 people on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, friends and followers, and just start with this. Hey, want to chat about your goals? And then what you're doing is just basically having a conversation with them. More conversations lead to more conversions, okay? And I've even got kind of a pro tip down here too, just in case, you want to get a little bit deeper. Now, of course, inside the Two Brain Mentorship Program, we go even deeper with this. We give you scripts, we give you role play. You can play a game with your mentor where you're going back and forth and practicing all of this. The next step that we want to do is what's called a 51-30. Now, this is what we call a pillar post on social media. What you're trying to do is get people to raise their hands. So you're looking at the low-hanging fruit. You're looking for the people who already know that they have an issue and they're basically like looking for a solution. But what you're doing is you're talking about that solution instead of talking about your service. So here's what a 51-30 post looks like. I am looking for 5 people, specific people, in this case, 5 dads, who have one problem. They want to lose, in this example, they want to lose 10 pounds in the next 30 days. Okay. 5, 1, 30. We call it a 51-30, but 5, 1, 30. And what you're trying to do here is basically combine this strategy with the previous one. So while you can just make that post and people are going to raise their hand or they're going to send you a DM or whatever, and that might even get you 30 leads in the next 30 days. If you combine that with the previous post, they're going to compound on each other. So everybody who hits like, you start a conversation with. Everybody who DMs you, of course, they're just looking for a clear invitation to join your gym. And this is one thing that you'll find with this guide is that you can do just one of these if you want to. But if you do 2 or 3, they'll actually multiply the results that you'll get from each one. And if later on you decide to run paid ads, that's fine because all of these organic free strategies will multiply the results that you get from that too. See, in Two Brain, we teach 4 different marketing funnels and each one builds on the other ones and they all compound to like create this big snowball effect. And once a gym is good at those 4 marketing funnels, they can stop thinking about marketing, stop looking for new stuff, stop chasing novelty, and just work on getting better and better and better at it. The third thing that you're going to do is take your best clients for coffee and ask for referrals. Why your best clients? Because they're the ones that you want to duplicate. You want more clients like them. So you're going to just make a one-on-one coffee date with 2 or 3 of your most engaged clients. These are the people who show up every day with batteries included, who pay their bills on time, who never complain, who light you up when they come in the room. You're going to pick 3 of them and you're going to book a coffee date with each one individually. Here is exactly what you're going to say. Thanks for being part of our community. And then a quick question. You can even say, the thing I love best about my gym is the people just like you. I'd love to get more people just like you in my gym. How can I do that? Now, here's a little bonus. Okay. A little pro tip. Big little gift for them. Hey, brought you a t-shirt. I've had this conversation twice. One time it's led to a referral. One time it hasn't, but both have been valuable. So I'm going to go really quickly through this story. The first was with a couple who are close friends of mine. They're also entrepreneurs. I asked them for a coffee. They came into the cafe. We sat down and I said, guys, you're some of my favorite people in the gym. I'd love to have more people like you. What should I do to get those people? And of course, Chris, who's one of my favorites, was like, oh, I know I can help. I'm part of Rotary. Let's bring you into Rotary and talk. It's just a whole bunch of people like us. Wonderful. Another time this didn't go as well. And this other person was also an entrepreneur, and her name was Anne. And she gave me the candid feedback. And she probably only told me this because we were alone in the cafe instead of in the busy gym. She said, Chris, honestly, I wouldn't invite my friends to your gym. They wouldn't like it. And I said, what do you mean, Anne? And she said, well, it's okay for me. I can deal with it, but sometimes it's kind of messy. And sometimes it's full of loud, powerlifters. And sometimes it doesn't smell very good. Now, this was all back in about 2009, and that feedback rocked me. And my first instinct was no, talk her out of it, right? And then I realized, damn, Anne is right. And that advice changed the way that I looked at my business. It changed how I thought about my ideal clients. And frankly, it changed my entire business. And I started to reframe more on clients like Anne. Now, the people she was talking about were my powerlifter buddies. It was not easy to make that pivot. But right after she told me this, that afternoon, I saw one of these powerlifting guys pulling into the gym. Here was a guy that liked to stay for 3 hours, right? He'd be wearing the same clothes he wore 3 days ago, messing the place up. I went out and met him in the parking lot. I put my hand on the hood of his dad's truck because he didn't even have his own vehicle. And I was like, hey, man, we don't have open gym anymore. And I started to reframe my business to ask myself, how can I serve people like Anne better so that I can serve more people like Anne? Okay, hopefully that helps. Next, ask a personal training client to bring a friend to train with them. Now, here's what's important. This is not like a free trial where you just let people come in and try out your gym. Okay. That does not convert people. That doesn't convince them to buy, right? The reason that a free trial works at the grocery store is the people are hungry and they're already looking for food. It doesn't work in a gym. In a personal training setting, though, you have a lot of control and you can lead to a conversation. Now, this is the important part. So what you say is you talk to your personal training client and you say, hey, Anne, I'd love to work with more people like you. Okay. Would you like to bring a friend in to the next session? Now, I know this says bring them for a week, but you don't have to do that. One session is enough. In fact, there's no difference between bringing them in for one session and bringing them in for a full week. So what you say is hey, Anne, I know your husband's trying to get in shape for ski season. Comes to mind because I'm looking at snow in my window here. Is he doing any exercise right now? No, he's not. He's just doing, waiting around. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. How do you feel about bringing him into our next personal training session? I won't charge you for the session. Just bring him with you. We'll do some really easy stuff. We'll do some stretching so he's not too sore the next day. And we'll see if he likes it. Okay, so you bring him in. After that session, though, you got to say to the husband, hey, Dennis, what did you think? Was this valuable to you? Yeah, it was pretty good. Well, how do you feel about continuing? We can either go one-on-one if you want your own sessions, or, we can continue to pair you guys up, right? And sometimes you'll look at the client, and the client's like, no, I want my own sessions. Sometimes they do want to work together, and you can start a semi-private group. And that's literally happened with the previous example that I gave. So the key is that they're going to do this together, which means that your client is probably not going to have a good workout. That's why you're going to do this for free, but only if it's somebody that they know already. Because now what you've got is you've got kind of a trifecta. You've got the new client surrounded, right? And your existing client is trying to talk them into it. You are making an offer before they leave the building. Let's be clear here. This is not a try it and tell me if you like it. This is a try it. Now, how can we get you started? You have to be willing to have that conversation. If you're not, skip this and go to the next tactic. The fifth tactic, and I love this, but I need this reminder about every 6 months to email all of my old leads. So leads are people who, they came in They booked a no sweat intro. They came in, they didn't sign up. Okay, maybe the timing was just wrong. Or maybe they booked a no sweat intro and they didn't show. Or maybe they inquired about information on your website, but they never really signed up or booked. These are the people that you want because they've shown interest, they've shown awareness. There was just one little thing stopping them. And quite often it could have been their schedule. It could have been the time of the year. It could have been like gas prices were high. You don't know. But it's a mistake to think that they just didn't like you and they're never going to sign up. Most of the time when people say, no, I don't want to join a gym, what they mean is I'm not ready to join a gym right now. And so it's a mistake to never go back to those people. You should be going back to those people. And don't just count on your software to do that for you. You really, really want to go back to them one-on-one, individually with a private email about every 6 months or so. Okay. So here you go. I've given you the subject line. Hey, you still looking to get fit this year? Okay. Or, are you still looking to get fit in 2025? Something like that. Okay. And of course, you got to follow up because the people who respond are not going to be interested forever. They've already shown that. So you want to talk to them right away. Now, again, if you're in TwoBrain, you can go into the toolkit, you can copy these scripts verbatim. We go a little bit deeper and you can use these to get clients right away. In fact, this works so well, and it's usually overlooked so often by gym owners that we put it right in the very first couple of weeks of work that you do in our mentorship program. The next thing that I want you to do is reach out to canceled members. Now, look, I'm a gym owner too. When somebody leaves my gym, it feels like a breakup. I'm sure you feel the same way. Oh, I never want to see you again. And we have all these feelings about it. Like, what? Well, I thought we were getting along so well. What's wrong? And we're like guessing. What you actually have to realize is that when somebody says, I want to leave the gym, quite often that doesn't mean forever. They might be gone for a month. They might be gone for a year. They might come back after a decade. But the reality is that if you don't maintain that line of conversation with them, they will never, ever be back ever. And so we want to make sure that you are reaching out to your canceled members. Okay, now here's exactly what to say. Just want to check in, see how things are going. Does that feel natural? I mean, honestly, it should, because this is a conversation. Some people will make the mistake of signing up for a CMS, CRM, whatever, and like automating this with a robot. But your conversations are what sell you. You want to do this in person. Don't worry about feeling awkward about it, because again, it's not like you're DMing your ex-girlfriend and being like, just wanted to see how your relationships were going, right? You're talking to a client. They trusted you as a coach. A coach doesn't let the lost lamb wander on its own forever and get eaten by lions. The good coach is the shepherd that goes out and finds the lamb again. Next, a great way to get leads is just to ask your clients to post about you in a local Facebook group. So what I would do is I would find the Facebook groups myself. Okay. So I would look for like dads in Sault Ste. Marie, or over 50 in Sault Ste. Marie, or like even Neighborhood Watch, whatever. Click on the members of that group. Look at who's in the group. If any of your gym clients are in that group, ask them to post something about you in that group. Okay. And that's as easy as it is. Here is exactly the script. Boom. Okay. That they have to share. A lot of the times people will be quickly willing to do this. Hey, man, I saw you in that St. Joseph Island buy and sell group. Would you be willing to paste this on my behalf? They won't let me post myself. Yeah, sure. Hey, I saw that you're active in the Healthy and Fit Sault Ste. Marie seniors group. What do you think about sharing this for me? No problem. Okay. We feel awkward about this, but the reality is that sometimes clients feel honored when we ask them for help, and they want to help, but they need to be told exactly what to do, right? It's like engaging an army of volunteers. If you tell them exactly what to do, they will go out there and do it, and then they get a little praise afterward and they feel great. Mission accomplished. They do not need to hear, I will give you $50 to do this, or I will give you $20 if this person signs up, or worst case, I will give you X% off your membership if that person signs up and meets these conditions and signs this contract. That doesn't work. Your clients love you and they want to do you a favor. Ask them exactly what to do. Next, create a lead magnet. Now, look, I've been telling people for the last decade, here we go, to do exactly that. Create lead magnets, start conversations, invite the right people to join your gym. It's gotten a lot easier with AI. You can quickly do this. You can go into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to create a lead magnet about how to lose 20 pounds. Can you help me put it together? ChatGPT will just write that for you. Then you just have to create a nice cover and put it all in a PDF and you're done. Now, if you don't know how to do that, of course, in TwoBrain, we have dozens of examples of these that you can just pull from our content vault and use. But the key is that you're giving people something of value to start a conversation. Here is a present. They say thank you. And you say, how are things going? Okay. And that's it. Like you're talking to them in person. When I'm DMing somebody on Facebook, Instagram, and if you're watching this, there's a chance we've been in that conversation before. When I'm talking to you, I'm pretending that you and I are standing across from each other, waiting in line at the coffee shop. And I'm just having a conversation as a human. It's never a robot. By the way, if you DM me on Facebook or Instagram, you're not talking to like a chat bot. You're talking to a human. And so that conversation is going to feel like a human. Okay. Next, and I love this. I try to do this twice a year, at least. Host a seminar or an event at your gym. So there's a few ways to do this. Number one, every January, you can just host an event about nutrition, like how to lose 15 pounds by June, or how to beat the winter blues. That's a big one in my area of the world. How to get over the winter blues, how to beat stress. Okay. You can just host this. Here we go. At your gym, and people can sign up. Another way that I've done this really successfully in the past is to partner with somebody who has an overlapping audience, but they're not in a competing business. You could partner with a nutritionist if you want to, if you've got somebody in your town. But once a year around March, I like to partner with my financial advisor and say, invite your clients. I'll invite my clients. We'll meet at my gym. I'll bring the coffee. We're going to talk about health and wealth. You're going to talk about the wealth. I'm going to talk about the health. We'll share the emails of everybody who shows up. And then, we can make them offers afterward, right? It's great and it's helpful for both. And now you've basically piggybacked on their audience and they've piggybacked on yours. Make sure this is somebody that you really know, like, and trust. Don't just look for the next closest person. But we've done this with physical therapists. We've done this with like wedding shops. There's so many ways that you can do this. And it's, you approaching this other person is helping them too. You're really helping everybody involved. Finally, and this is one I love, we have done this dozens of times over the years at Catalyst. What you do is you look at your client and you say, what do they do for a living? Now, this time of the year, I've got bookkeepers and accountants in my gym. Okay. So I'll turn to one of my accountants, say, Nathan. There's a reason that springs to mind, by the way. Hey, Nathan, dude, I know everybody in your office is stressed to the max right now over tax season. Is that true? Oh, yeah. Well, look, man, the best thing that I can do to help you right now is to help you control your environment so you're not stress eating, but you're also not surrounded by stress eaters, so that you're not sitting in a place where you're just like, headache, trying to figure stuff out, and people are walking in with dozens of donuts all day long. If I can help you with that, it's going to help you stay on track toward your health and fitness goals, right? Yes. Great. What if I come into your office at lunchtime and I host a free seminar? I can even bring sandwiches or snacks or coffee or something if you want to. And I'm going to tell people how to de-stress. I can teach them how to meditate if you want me to. I'm going to give them some stretches they can do at their desk. And I'm going to give them some diet tips so that they're not just drinking coffee and eating donuts to quote unquote stay alert all day. How's that sound? Now, of course, when you go into Nathan's workplace, you're going to take a sign-up sheet. You're going to have everybody sign it. Hey, guys, we're just taking attendance here out of interest, but also just in case I give you some advice and you want to talk about it more later, I'm going to get your email address so that I can send you a summary of my notes from this presentation. Okay. Now you've got everybody's email address. You're going to put them on your mailing list. You might send them a special offer, but you might just talk to them through your email list. And that's a great way to get like 15, 20 leads at a time. We've done this with nurses. And I mean, we had probably 40 people show up to that seminar. We've done it we have a lottery headquarters in our city. We get like 30 people for that. We called it a lunch and learn or like a brown bag session. We've done it with parents of hockey teams too. So it doesn't have to be a workplace. It can be like, hey, I saw your kid playing this afternoon. She had a lot of energy, but there were a lot of kids on her bench who were just kind of like fading in the third period. If you want to introduce me to your coach, I'm happy to put together a free nutrition seminar for, hockey playing girls aged 10 to 12, if you want to. Bring them in. I'll even come into the locker room like ahead of the next game and talk to parents about what to feed these kids before a game so they've got lots of energy instead of like chugging a Monster Energy drink or, drinking a latte. which, I can't believe that happens, but it does. Stop caffeinating your kids, right? Stop giving them sugars because you think you're giving them energy. And I'll tell you exactly what to feed them. Of course, you're going to capture those parents' email addresses. Now, look, I went deep on this tactic in my book, Help First. And we go even deeper. We go step by step with lead magnets and exactly what to say and everything in the Two Brain curriculum. So look, it's not hard to get 30 leads if you follow one of these tactics, two of these tactics, or all 10. The key is that you do one of these two things. Number one, do all 10. Go out there and do 150, 130, make one invitation to a client, invite one client to coffee, right? If you do that, you're probably going to get 30 leads. Then what you can do is you can say, well, this is the one that worked the best. Here's the 5 that I couldn't figure out or whatever. And just go hard again. Like repeat what's working always. That's a top tip for all business owners. Repeat what's working. The other thing that you can do is go super deep on any one of these. How do you know? How do you know which one to pick? How do you know how to get better and better? How do you measure your success and improve? You work with a mentor. And that's why we're a mentorship practice. Every 3 weeks, we publish a guide just like this in gymownersunited.com. If you join that group, you won't miss any of them because we post them front and center right there. We're sharing videos like this to help you implement the guides because I really want you to use them instead of just reading them and collecting them and amassing information that you're not using. But if you go to gymownersunited.com, you can ask questions about the guides. You can start a conversation with me. You can ask me questions about the guides. You can make sure that you never miss any. You can even find the old guides. But the key here is that we want you to grow your gym, whether you use mentorship or not. And that's why we give out these free guides to you. And I've been doing this for well over a decade. I want to make sure that you're growing your gym so that you can help more people. And that means helping clients stick around long enough to get healthy and fit, helping coaches build meaningful careers and expanding your impact, and helping you stay in the game long enough to actually make a difference in this world. This is Run a Profitable Gym. I'm Chris Cooper, and let's get to work.